Hello everybody, welcome back to another Ultimate General Civil War video. Today we're doing some of the Battle of Fredericksburg. This video will be the fighting in the town and the fighting for Prospect Hill. So, Fredericksburg, the battle, actually it took place for multiple days. This battle was a 4-day battle in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Major General Ambrose Burnside had command of the Army of the Potomac. Fun fact about him, he is who we get the name Sideburns from, for the facial hair. And for the Confederates, obviously Robert E. Lee, and he had about 72,000 men, 72,500. The Federals had about 114,000. This is one of, if not the largest battles in size for manpower. And I'm sorry if you all hear me clearing my throat or coughing a bit in this video, because I have been sick for a few days now. And battle resulted in a Confederate victory. Now, the lead up to the battle, Burnside replaced McClellan after the Battle of Antietam, and basically his strategy for this campaign at least, was to cross the Rappahannock River at Fredericksburg, so here. Okay, we've sent Hall's brigade back. Okay, so his plan was to cross the Rappahannock River at Fredericksburg and move toward Richmond. Let's see what Hall's gonna do again. And to move toward Richmond before Lee could stop him. Basically trying to catch Lee off guard. Because originally Lee did not believe he would move to Fredericksburg. And Lee did not really want to fight at Fredericksburg. He wanted to fight at a different river. I can't remember the name of the river. Okay, Hall is coming back. Oh, yes, he wanted to fight along the North Anna River. So, in theory, Burnside's plan would have worked, but delayed pontoon bridges gave Lee a lot of time to capture the high ground. Now, he did have a chance to cross the river before his bridges got there. An officer in the military, or in his army, gave Burnside the information that he had saw a cow cross the river in just a few feet of water. So he could have gotten a corps across the river as a spearhead to cover the rest of the movements of the army across the river, but Burnside feared that if they got a corps across the river and it was only that one corps, then Lee could come down and destroy the entire corps in detail without the other federal forces really being able to help. So Burnside waited, and he waited, and waited until the pontoon boats eventually got there. And Burnside originally wanted to launch the advance in late November. And he waited for almost a month for these bridges. And like I said, once the bridges were finally in place, or once they got there, Lee had already captured the high ground. So the fighting began on December the 11th Federal engineers began working on the bridges to cross the river. These are pontoon bridges. But Confederate sharpshooters... Lieutenant Colonel Hescock is killed. Okay. Or wounded. But Confederate sharpshooters harassed their every move. It was very difficult for the Union engineers to get these bridges built. Only one brigade held the town. It was Barksdale's brigade. William, I believe his first name is William. I have him in my first corps. He was also in the first corps of the Army of the Potomac, Army of Northern Virginia, but he was in Longstreet's corps. I have Lee as my first corps commander. Eventually, Union artillery bombarded the town, destroying most of the town of Fredericksburg. After the artillery fire, Federal infantry moved into the town and clashed with Barksdale's brigade, and they were, I believe it was a Massachusetts regiment. I believe the 7th Massachusetts. They crossed the bridge and they were ordered to not form into lines, but just to attack the Confederates. Okay. We have artillery coming up. I'm gonna go and try to shoot them. We have a small amount of time remaining, but it will allow us to continue fighting if I wanted to. And to take out this artillery, I will continue fighting. All of these brigades here will attack at Marye's Heights, which, if everything goes how I plan, will be in the next video. I don't think I'll do just one big video, because you guys seem to like the shorter videos. Okay, we threw back Palmer's brigade, we threw back Hall. Kimball also attacked at Marye's Heights. His brigade was mauled. How many guns do they have left? 3. Okay. Alright, we're gonna cross here. Usually, I would have already had Palmer's brigade destroyed, and Hall as well. Hall is usually the first one destroyed. There's the artillery right there. That's what we want to get. Okay, we knocked those infantrymen out. But Hall won't be around much longer. Sully is usually the only one that survives until the end, at least, and I tend to capture him. So we're going to roll up their flank with these skirmishers, and thankfully we just destroyed that brigade, so we only have 3 to deal with, or 2. And once we drive Hall back, we can engage with Sully. You have low morale, actually. Alright, get across. Quickly. These skirmishers have actually only lost 4 men. That's very well. These guys here are out of ammo. Oh, okay, we routed the other brigade. And then I usually just have these guys charge in and they will capture Sully's brigade. Check the stamina. Yeah, okay, stamina's good. Hold your fire, don't want any friendly fire casualties. Just go ahead and surrender. Okay, there we go. So we get a good about 500 prisoners there. So we outnumbered them almost 2 to 1, and we also have a good amount more guns than they do. So what I've experienced a issue on the Battle of Fredericksburg, and I've been putting off I've been delaying, not really delaying, but I've been thinking about not posting it when I should, because a lot of times when I was practicing this battle, they would just not attack here. And this is really the main objective that they usually want to get. They just wouldn't attack. When I would go out to try to draw them to attack, a brigade or two may advance, and still not attack though. And it was a very big problem, but eventually they did start attacking, so I feel confident that they will at least make some sort of advance here. If they don't, I'm just going to cut it out of the video, but I have a lot of notes on this part of the battle, and this was supposed to be the part where the main fighting took place. This was also the part where the Union did the best. They broke the Confederate line here. And if they could have gotten any reinforcements, then they really could have won the battle. But I will save that just for a little bit. Texas Brigade will go over here. Kershaw's brigade will be reserved, because I found out the hard way that this position Mahone holds can quite easily be flanked. Okay, let's get the Kentucky battery up here. I need to switch their division because they're supposed to be a part of the Orphan Brigade. Where's the Orphan Brigade at? Oh dear, hold on. These guys will be in reserve, second division. Okay. So Prospect Hill happened on December the 13th at about 10 a.m. Or is when the first parts of fighting opened up. So at 10 a.m., Pelham took a single 12-pounder Napoleon to around this position here near these houses and started shelling the Union line. It does not look like they're coming out to fight. I'm going to send up General Lee to hopefully bait them in. That is poor. That is poor. Where are the Federals at? Gotten this far and still not spotted. Looks like they're hanging back. Something's coming. Sounds like cavalry? Or infantry. Okay. I don't want to get generally killed, so... Looks like they're gonna... Okay, here they come. Looks like my trick worked. Yep, here they come. Okay, so back to the Battle of Fredericksburg. Actually, I need to direct some artillery fire real quick. I have some artillery over here, but they're not really coming in all range. Here we go, right here. Yep, y'all are in for it. Okay, so Pelham opens up with a single 12-pounder Napoleon at about 10 a.m. And he harassed the Federal forces and delayed the Union attack for about an hour. At 11, Federal artillery shelled the rebels for about 30 minutes. And one thing that I didn't add into the notes that I should say is, when Pelham advanced and fired on the Union forces with his horse artillery, he worried Jeb Stuart. He was Stuart's best artillerist, so Jeb Stuart didn't want to have him killed. So Jeb Stuart sent another Blakely rifle to help Pelham, and as soon as the Blakely got into position, they were knocked out by a direct hit from Union artillery. What Pelham was doing was he was firing on the Union forces, hitching his artillery up, and then he would move it, and then get a new place and fire again. And he kept doing that. So at 11, the Federal artillery shelled the rebels for about 30 minutes. At 11:30, the Union attack began. The Union artillery had been firing too high and were hitting the rear of the Confederate line. Jackson had his artillery hold their fire, because he knew he had a severe lack of guns, so he knew, or compared to the Federals at least, so he knew that if he opened up with his guns and revealed their position, they would get knocked out quite easily. Meade's division, yes, George Meade, stepped off towards the Confederates. And when they got within 800 yards, about 50 Confederate guns hit the artillery right here. Or the cavalry. I don't like them being right here, close to our guns. About 50 Confederate guns opened on them. The Federals, they were caught off guard, and they retreated to a ravine for shelter. Okay, we have... Alright. Oh, okay. 1st Maryland Light Artillery, y'all hit the enemy artillery. Do that for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this cavalry around just so in a last-ditch scenario, I can save these guns if I have to. With two massive, well, not massive, but I mean, they're about as big as they can get. I don't fear that they will get driven off, especially with infantry support to their left and sharpshooters to their right. So I think they'll be able to hold. Partridge's Cavaliers are getting some action here. Send Forrest up. Who are they engaging with? Are they engaging with Jones and the Iron Brigade? Looks like they are. Well, what are they doing over here? They're just doing a mass retreat? I'll have the sharpshooters open up on Meredith since Partridge's Cavaliers can't, really. Because they don't have the range. So for another hour after the Federals retreated, oh dear God, more cavalry's coming up here. Send in the reserve brigade. Alright, move them up here, see if they can fire. Okay, there we go. And we are in 100% cover as well, so the Iron Brigade is about to be in for a good shock here. Nope, Forrest, hold your position. Looks like we are drawing in a good amount of Federals to this position over here. That's held by just 3 cavalry brigades. So for another hour, Federal artillery, once more, or Federal and Confederate artillery, exchanged fire. Then Meade's division began another attack. This time they would make it to the Confederate lines. Archer and Jackson's brigades fired on each other, while Jackson and Sinclair are Federal generals. Sinclair continued advancing, and he found Maxcy Gregg's brigade. Now, while Jackson and Archer's Tennesseans were fighting, Jackson was killed. He was shot in the head. Okay. I think I'm just going to turn this into one big video. Okay, yeah. Hopefully I can get through all the notes. I should be able to. So the 1st Division, I'm going to have them deploy over here. Baldwin, come over here. What I need is you all to get in a place where y'all can fire on Federal artillery. 4th Division Reserve. So, once Jackson's brigade started firing on Gregg's brigade, Maxcy Gregg figured it was friendly fire, and he told his men not to fire. That order would end up getting him killed. But I will save the rest of the story of Prospect Hill for when we get back over there. Let's see, how many, what do we have for Murray's Heights? You have a lot for Murray's Heights? A good amount, okay. Okay. Y'all, actually, you can do what you want. I don't really care. Y'all hit Owen. So, General Sumner would be tasked with attacking Murray's Heights. It was meant to be a distraction attack to hold Longstreet in place, but quickly it became the main attack. Also, if you hear, I doubt y'all will, but if y'all do end up hearing any thunder in the background, you know, there's a big storm coming through the south right now. So, y'all might end up hearing some. Three Union regiments from Kimball's brigade If you look closely in here, you might be able to see him. His brigade. Or maybe they didn't come back from their whipping earlier in the battle. Oh, okay. Yeah. Put Baldwin on the front line. I'm just gonna put Baldwin on the front line so we can have more organization per division, because the rest of 1st Division is on the left side of our line. There's really no point in Bloom being different. But yeah, I do need Bloom on the other side of the field. But yes, three Union regiments from Kimball's brigade began the assault. They were the 8th Ohio, the 4th Ohio, and the 1st Delaware. They attacked Cobb's brigade, which historically would have been right here where Baldwin was, or is. And Cobb's brigade had the famed 24th Georgia. The reason why they are famous is because they are displayed in the movie Gods and Generals. The 24th Georgia was an Irish regiment, so when you hear people talking about Irish fighting Irish at Fredericksburg, that's what they're talking about. Eventually, the Hancock's division and the Irish brigade would attack up Marie's Heights. The Irish brigade, like many brigades, would be destroyed and thrown back, and the 24th Georgia helped in that. So that is where the fame comes from. Here's the Irish brigade right here under Marr, attacking on the other side of the field. The rest of Kimball's brigade moved forward behind the original 3 regiments. And Kimball was wounded after ordering a charge. He was carried away, but his brigade did not follow the order to charge. Andrew and Palmer's brigades, we also fought them earlier. They charged the stone wall, but they were too thrown back. After his brigade repulsed the Federal attack, Cobb was wounded in the leg and bled to death. After he was carried from the field. Let's see, how are we doing here? We have a large buildup of Federals on our right flank. Revere, Berry, and Ward's brigades in the front line. Oh boy, our lights just flashed. I doubt I'm going to be able to make it through this video. Hopefully I will, doubt I will. Maybe I should have turned this into shorter videos. Okay. So Hancock's division advanced. Zook's brigade attacked and was thrown back. Marr's Irish brigade was attacked and thrown back. So far, 2 Union divisions had been repulsed, but another was going up. The 2nd Corps had been destroyed while trying to take Marie's Heights. Although bloody, 2 more corps would attack the heights. Elements of the 9th and 5th Corps would try taking the heights, but both of those corps would also be mauled. Most of my notes were for Prospect Hill, so I didn't really have a lot of notes for Fredericksburg. And that was all. So I'll do a little bit more talking about Fredericksburg at the end, but for now that is it, and we can now focus on the main part of the fighting. Where is the Irish Brigade at? Here's Andrew's brigade. Tyler and Caldwell. Alright, I'm gonna move the artillery, or the rifles at least, over to this side and have them fire on those guns. Actually, there's some guns over here. I'll have the 10-pounders go that way. Cherokee light artillery needs to move this way, though. They'll have the most range. They have the Whitworths. They have the most range in the game. So I basically have an entire division of Native Americans. 500 in the Seminole Mounted Volunteers Brigade, and 1,500 in the 1st and 2nd Cherokee Mounted Rifles. And I might change Hayes into one just to make the entire division, but I'll have to see if there was any infantry. I mean, I'm sure there were. A lot of the Native Americans fought. A lot of Native Americans fought for the Confederacy in general, most of them being out west. A lot fought with Von Dorn, especially at the Battle of Pea Ridge. Where did that artillery go? Here they are. I'm gonna... Actually, they've already lost a bit of men. I'm not gonna have them... I'm not gonna put them in a worse spot. I was gonna bring the 12-pounders down here, but it's okay. We'll hold. I am gonna bring the reserve division up a bit, though, just in case Baldwin breaks. I've done this part of the battle a lot, and I usually can sneak away with just 1 or 2 commanders wounded. I have done it clean, though, with no officers wounded in the entire battle, and I obviously I hope to do that again, but that is just very tricky, especially with this many Federals attacking us. But the stone wall is very good for cover, so I have no doubt that we will hold them. The question is, at what cost? I should have attacked them while they were in the marsh. Alright, they've broken, and... Okay, hold your fire. You don't want any friendly fire. But I might need to bring in the mounted volunteers. Yeah. Go ahead and go in there so y'all can... We don't have to do melee in the woods. You never want to do melee in the woods in this game. We could have got them in the water. Oh, we did get them in the water, so... Okay, very good. We've thrown back more Federals. Where did that artillery go? Did we throw it back as well? Looks like we did. We have a lot of guns in the town of Fredericksburg, so we're gonna once more shift our artillery over. Eventually, I will try to wrap around with the cavalry and have them attack the guns. I've done that as well, and has resulted in a victory for me, but did wipe out a good number of our cavalry. Okay, the enemy continues the attack. So this is going to bring in the center of the line. Also more cavalry for us. Okay, so I'll go ahead and continue the fight. And Lee's brigade will take up a position, probably the worst position of any brigade in the entire Army of Virginia, up to this point, for us at least. In between water, really the only brigade that will see the fight over here that doesn't have defensive positions, and even worse than that, they are in swamp, just pure swamp and marsh. Lee's brigade is going to be in a very bad position, and that is also quite bad for me, because if I lose him, I'll lose a major general. So I don't want to lose him. Actually, you know, y'all stay here. You guys can shift around. You guys shift around. I have no idea what I'm going to put these 2 victory points into. Whoa, hold on. Who's in melee? Baldwin's in melee. Okay, I'm going to bring Timney's brigade down just because we've got a lot of action and Baldwin is... Okay, well, his morale went up, but it was down to 79. Okay, we have a brigade, or an enemy brigade, routing from the field. 24 pounders, go ahead and open up on Poe's brigade. We're gonna clear off Baldwin's flank. Here comes the cavalry. And we're knocking out Federal artillery as well. So far, everything is going good. We're gonna launch an attack with our cavalry. Shift around this way. If anything comes up, y'all will delay them. I'm also gonna bring General Jackson over here. Bring the cavalry out this way. We're gonna sneak up from the Federal rear, and we're gonna get Hexamer's battery. Then we'll move on to Osborne. Okay, looks like, who's that? Andrews' brigade? Yep, they're gone. Routed them from the field. Only had 162 men. The reason I'm not sending in my melee cavalry, 1, is because I don't have their flank just yet. And 2, because there's 2 brigades here, and I do not want my cavalry getting caught up in the marsh and being in melee. That would just put them in a crossfire, taking friendly fire from us, and a lot of enemy fire. No. All of y'all. Fire on Watson. 1 good volley from all of us, and he should rout from the field. He only has 40 men. Make that 30 now. Yeah, so, he's gone now. Start hitting Robertson. Then we'll do Bruin after that. Let's see, is our cavalry in place? They are in place. Go ahead and move to this position here. Is there anything here that will stop us? Nope. No cavalry, no infantry, no secondary artillery. The fate of Hexamer's battery has been secured. I'm gonna have Mosby's Rangers go up here, but not fire. Because I don't want any friendly fire. Okay, nice. We only lost 3 men. Gonna scare these guys off. And then go for Osborne's battery. we can make it across the field quickly, we can get there before they put canister into us. Looks like we will be able to do that. Yeah, they're done too. We did take some casualties in that one, but only 10. And maybe we can even take these supplies. Yep, very good. Almost a full train of them as well. Try to get on the flank here. Let's see what's going on with our cavalry. Looks like they have pulled back some. Federal cavalry is coming. I'll have the 2nd Cherokee Mounted Rifles engage with Farnsworth. You all attack Tyler. He's in a good spot now, and we have him routed, or broken at least. Okay, they are not going to engage with Farnsworth's cavalry, but they are going to just keep him away. They got 1 kill and 582 losses. I'll take the Harper Ferry, those. Harper's Ferries. What are they called? Yeah, Harper's Ferries. That was a tongue twister, I tell you. The Federal cavalry here is just decimated. Oh, hold on a moment. No. Attack these men. We cannot have our sharpshooters being in actual combat. No, that is just unacceptable. Unless they're defending artillery, then it's acceptable. Looks like we're gonna have to pull back before we can really do melee damage to them. It'd have been nice to get in there with the saber, but looks like it's just not gonna happen this time. But now we can roll up their flank even more, so that's a plus. So Baldwin lost about 600 men, but he held strong. We didn't lose any general. Oh yeah, y'all can route from the field now. And I will... Ah, man, that just sucks. So the Cherokee artillery did end up losing one of those 8 precious 1200 Whitworths. Longest range of any artillery in the game. The enemy definitely paid for it, though. Definitely paid for it. They only have 24 guns left on the field. Out of the 105th, or 100 and what, 15 they brought? I'm gonna bring the cavalry to this side of the field. Bring these guys back. Bring the cavalry over here. Just because the battle for Marie's Heights is about to end. Where is General Longstreet? Here he is. Just wanted to make sure there was no tragedy on our hands. You guys, who are y'all? Oh, Morrison's 10 pounders, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, Edwards hasn't been firing, so where did all the ammo go to? Okay, Tyler's brigade is now off the field. Confederate right at stake. I don't believe any part of our line is at stake. If it was, it would probably be the center, right here, where there's no defenses, but I think it would be okay. Alright, go ahead and move back. I'm going to be focusing on this part so I can finish speaking about my notes. Okay. So after Greg was wounded, his brigade retreated, and Archer's brigade became outflanked. Many of Archer's men surrendered to the Federals. Although Meade did break the Confederate right, his men were tired, and his division was shredded. And if they were going to hold, let alone continue the attack, he was going to need reinforcements. Those reinforcements would not come. And he would end up losing all the ground that his division had bled so dearly for. The final Confederate brigade on the front, under Lane, held out against John Gibbon's division. Fall back a little. Use our range to our advantage. But Lane's brigade, like the others on the Confederate right, were eventually driven back. After the successful attacks, cohesion in the Union line was breaking down, like it does after most successful attacks. Even worse for them, Stonewall Jackson had already sent for reinforcements, and although there were still 2 Union divisions in reserve, they would not come into the fight. Atkinson's brigade launched a counterattack, but 36 Union cannons opened up with canister on them. Atkinson attacked right around this area. He pushed out of the woods. All the Union cannons were around this area, kind of where Hall is. Speaking of Hall, go ahead and open up on them. Actually, hit Gibson first. Actually, you know what? Just do whatever you want to. And all that Union artillery in the open, though, it does make me wonder, could I sneak the cavalry around and get them? But I won't try that. Also, I'm going to put Kershaw on the line. Another Union brigade routes from the field. Beautiful song. Atkinson, after launching the counterattack... Hold on just a minute. Where did all of our vision go? Oh, y'all hit them. Okay, so Atkinson was captured after his brigade was driven back. The fight for Prospect Hill was over. Okay, I can go ahead and start speeding through this battle, because I've said all that I need to say, for the most part. Now on to casualties. This was a very one-sided battle, and the casualties are very lopsided. Losses for the Union: 1,284 men killed in action, 9,600 wounded, 1,769 captured or missing. In total, about 12,653. Okay. Looks like Phelps' brigade attempted taking the artillery positions, but was thrown back. That's a great thing. Can we kill General Reynolds? Yes, we did. Very good. Confederate losses: 592 killed in action, 4,061 wounded, 653 missing or captured. Total Confederate losses: about 5,309. Whose brigade is that? Meredith's brigade still has 400 men? Not what I expected at all. Okay. Put Kershaw on the line. Let him do some fighting. Texas brigade is not going to be doing any fighting this battle. Now, hold on. Colonel Pond is wounded. Who's Colonel Pond? Oh, he's in charge of Cartridge's Cavaliers. Well, last Cartridge, it looks like you have been wounded. Okay, well that means I could have already done this. Wasn't really thinking about it, but Quantrill's Raiders. Go ahead and fall on the flank of the Iron Brigade. Okay, they are. Our brigade is soon to be thrown back. So the total amount of casualties for Fredericksburg is 17,962. I feel like I'll have around the same amount of casualties as the Confederates did historically. Maybe a little less. Usually when I've done this, it's been anywhere from 2,600 to 5,000, so there's a good chance. We have about an hour of game time left in the battle. That should give me about perfect amount of time to talk about the generals lost. Actually, hold on. Fire on ransom. So, Union generals lost. Brigadier General George Bayard was mortally wounded by artillery. Brigadier General Conrad Jackson was killed, shot in the head while leading an attack on Prospect Hill against Archer's brigade. Oh, hold on. Federal artillery. Cartridge's brigade is sent back. We will get him 750 men left. Right back, though. For now, your brigade will be about the size of a regiment. Oh, come on. Just finish them off. Thank you. Hit Hall, and that should be... That should be the last of their guns. Yeah, that is actually the last of their guns. Okay, I have to run through these generals real quick. U.S. generals wounded. Brigadier General Samuel Sturgis, and Brigadier General Andrew Humphreys. Confederate generals lost. Brigadier General Maxie Gregg was mortally wounded near Prospect Hill. Brigadier General Thomas Cobb was mortally wounded fighting on Marie's Heights. And there was a rumor that Major General Longstreet was possibly wounded by shrapnel or artillery, but it is not confirmed. That is the Battle of Fredericksburg. That is my lowest amount of casualties for Fredericksburg. I thought I had more. I did not. About 2,500 infantry, 121 artillerymen, 1 artillery piece knocked out, 75 cavalry lost. That's definitely a lie, but that is just talking about mounted cavalry. So, these guys down here would count as infantry. Uh, Federal losses: 26,654 infantry, 89 guns lost, 2,309 gun crewmen lost, cavalry 1,715, and they lost just about 800 missing or captured, which in this case, all missing or captured. We met all of the goals. Our best unit is Baldwin, 5,300 kills for a pretty high price of just over 1/4 of his brigade, 637 men. Armistead, over 2,000 kills for only 93 losses. 1st Tennessee Heavy Artillery, over 1,900 kills. I still haven't changed the name to 20-pounder parrots. Baldwin, Hines, Stark, Garish, Pugh, Bruin, Wilcox, Rhodes, another Wilcox, Edwards, Nelson, Lilly, Johnston, and A.P. Hill, all promoted. Colonel Pond is wounded. Let's see, almost 10,000 Harper's Ferry rifles that we captured. We rescued, or we picked up 177 Springfields that we dropped. We captured about 900 of these Sharps 1855s for the cavalry. That's really about all that we got. We did capture a lot of artillery, so that's great. But yeah, that's really about all that we got. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm really surprised the power did not go out. Cartridges, Cavaliers. Sad to see what happened to those fellas. Okay. Okay. And then this is the Chancellorsville campaign with Everettsville. Okay. 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 I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like, comment, share, subscribe. If you want to command a brigade, put the brigade name in the comments. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next video, which there's a good chance it's going to be Chancellorsville. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the Stones River campaign. But yeah, good chance it's going to be Stones River because I don't like the Battle of Everettsville at all. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.